There's a man who walks into a room, and without saying a word, the entire atmosphere shifts. Conversations pause mid-sentence. Eyes turn. Something in the air changes, though no one can quite explain why. This isn't about physical size or expensive clothes. It's something deeper, something invisible yet undeniable. The ancient Stoics called it presence. Modern psychology calls it aura. But here's what most men never realize. 97% of men will go their entire lives never discovering they possess this invisible force. They'll chase status symbols, flex achievements, talk endlessly about their accomplishments, all while remaining utterly forgettable. But a rare few, those who understand the ancient art of Stoic philosophy, develop something far more powerful. They command respect without demanding it. They attract opportunities without chasing them. They dominate spaces without uttering a single aggressive word. Today, I'm going to reveal 5 unmistakable signs that your aura has reached a level most men will never achieve. These aren't party tricks or social manipulation tactics. These are the markers of a man who has built an inner fortress so strong that it radiates outward, changing every room he enters and every person he encounters. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where you stand and, more importantly, what you need to do to join the ranks of men whose very presence speaks louder than words ever could. The first sign is perhaps the most striking. People feel your presence before you speak. Let me paint you a picture. You walk into a coffee shop, a business meeting, a social gathering. You haven't announced yourself. You haven't made eye contact with anyone yet. But something happens. Heads turn. Conversations momentarily falter. There's a subtle shift in the room's energy, as if everyone's nervous system just registered a change in atmospheric pressure. This isn't your imagination, and it's not accident. This is the mark of a powerful aura, and it's rooted in something the Stoics understood 2,000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor who ruled Rome at its peak, wrote extensively about the concept of inner authority. He understood that true power doesn't announce itself through volume or bravado. It emanates from a man who has mastered himself. When you've done the internal work, when you've built what the Stoics called the inner citadel, your nervous system operates on a different frequency. You're not anxious about how others perceive you. You're not seeking validation or scanning the room for threats to your ego. This calm, centered energy is so rare in our modern world that when people encounter it, their mirror neurons fire in recognition of something unusual. Here's what's happening on a neurological level. Human beings are wired to detect emotional states in others within milliseconds. We evolved this capacity for survival. Our ancestors needed to quickly assess whether a stranger approaching the tribe was friend or foe, confident or afraid, dominant or submissive. This ancient circuitry still operates today. When you enter a space with genuine inner calm, not the fake confidence that masks insecurity, but real Stoic equanimity, people's brains register it immediately. And here's the paradox that confuses most men. The less you try to be noticed, the more you stand out. The man desperately seeking attention through loud laughter, constant talking, or peacocking behavior might get glances, but he doesn't command presence. He's recognized as a man seeking, which immediately places him lower in the invisible status hierarchy every social space creates. But you, operating from Stoic principles, you're not seeking anything from anyone. You've already found everything you need within yourself. This self-sufficiency is so uncommon, so contrary to the needy energy most people emit, that it creates a gravitational pull. People notice you because you're the only person in the room who doesn't need to be noticed. Think about the last time you encountered someone with genuine presence. Maybe it was a teacher, a mentor, an older family member, or even a stranger. They didn't perform for you. They simply were, and their being was enough. That's what you're cultivating. Marcus Aurelius put it simply: the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. When you stop trying to manufacture presence and instead focus on building genuine character, wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control, presence becomes a natural byproduct. It's not something you do. It's something you are. So ask yourself honestly, when you walk into a room, does the energy shift? Do people notice you before you announce yourself? If not, it's not because you lack some external quality. It's because you haven't yet built the internal foundation that creates this invisible force field. And that brings us to the second sign. You remain unmoved while others react. Picture this. Everyone around you is losing their composure. The meeting has gone sideways. The project is falling apart. Someone just delivered unexpected bad news. Voices are rising. Emotions are escalating. People are pointing fingers, making excuses, spiraling into anxiety or anger. And there you stand, calm as a monk in meditation. Your heart rate is steady. Your voice remains level. Your decisions stay clear. This isn't coldness. It's mastery. And it's one of the most powerful indicators of a developed Stoic aura. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher who was born a slave and died a free man, taught one of the most transformative principles in human psychology. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Most men have this backwards. They believe their emotions are caused by external events. The traffic jam made me angry. She made me jealous. The deadline made me stressed. But this is a fundamental misunderstanding of how human consciousness works. Between every external event and your emotional response, there's a space. In that space lives your power to choose. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control. You cannot control what happens to you. You can only control your judgments about what happens and your chosen response. When you truly internalize this, not just intellectually, but in your bones, your entire relationship with life transforms. You stop being a victim of circumstances and become a master of yourself. And this mastery is immediately visible to everyone around you. Here's what happens biologically when you've trained yourself in Stoic emotional regulation. Your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, still registers threats and challenges. That's healthy, that's survival. But your prefrontal cortex, the seat of rational thought, has been strengthened through practice to create space before reacting. While other men's cortisol spikes and floods their system with stress hormones, your system remains regulated. You've practiced voluntary discomfort. You've meditated on worst-case scenarios. You've trained your nervous system to stay calm under pressure. This isn't suppression, and this is crucial to understand. The toxic masculinity crowd has it all wrong. Stoicism doesn't teach you to bury emotions. It teaches you to understand them, to examine their origins, and to respond from wisdom rather than from impulse. The weak man explodes in anger because he has no control over his internal state. The Stoic man feels the spark of anger, observes it without judgment, recognizes it as a temporary physiological response, and chooses how to respond. Seneca wrote extensively about anger, calling it temporary madness. He understood that the man who can be provoked into rage has given away his power. He's shown everyone watching that his emotional state is controlled by external circumstances and by other people. But you, with your powerful aura, you've reclaimed that power. And people notice. When chaos erupts and you remain centered. People unconsciously look to you for leadership. They seek your calm like a life raft in stormy seas. This isn't something you announce. You don't say, "Look how calm I am." You simply embody it. And in embodying it, you reveal the vast gap between men who are mastered by their emotions and men who have mastered themselves. Here's the test. Think back to the last time something went wrong. Did you remain the calmest person in the room? Did people look to you for stability? Or were you swept up in the collective panic, your peace of mind hijacked by circumstances? Your honest answer reveals whether you've developed this second sign of a powerful Stoic aura. But there's a third sign that's perhaps even more unnerving to others. Your comfort with silence. We live in an age of constant noise. Podcasts, music, notifications, endless chatter filling every potential gap in consciousness. Most people have become so uncomfortable with silence that they'll say anything, absolutely anything, just to fill the void. They'll narrate their thoughts, make meaningless observations, ask questions they don't care about the answers to, all to avoid the discomfort of a quiet moment. But not you. You've learned something that gives you a devastating advantage in every interaction. Silence is power. The Stoics were masters of selective speech. Seneca wrote, "We learn more by asking the right questions than by giving the right answers." Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Let your words be few and simple." They understood that a man who speaks constantly diminishes the weight of his words. But a man who speaks rarely, who measures his words, who lets silence breathe between his thoughts. When that man speaks, people listen. Think about how this plays out in real interactions. You're in a conversation. Someone asks you a question. Instead of rushing to fill the space with an immediate answer, you pause. 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds. You think. You consider. You let the silence exist, and something fascinating happens. The other person starts to feel uncomfortable. They begin to fill the silence themselves. They over-explain. They add qualifications. They reveal more than they intended. They're doing this because your comfort with silence creates what psychologists call cognitive tension. The human brain seeks closure. An unanswered question, an unfilled space, creates a loop the mind wants to complete. But while their mind is scrambling to close the loop, your mind is calm, observing, gathering information. You've turned silence into a tool. When you finally do speak, your words land with force because they're surrounded by the weight of considered thought. Compare this to the man who talks constantly, who interrupts, who finishes others' sentences, who always has an immediate opinion on everything. His words become background noise. People tune him out because they know that whatever comes out of his mouth hasn't been filtered through wisdom. It's just reactivity. It's mental diarrhea. But your words are different. Because they're rare, they're valuable. Because they're measured, they're respected. Because they follow silence, they command attention. This is how Stoic philosophy manifests in verbal dominance without aggression. There's a reason that powerful leaders, master negotiators, and truly confident men are comfortable with silence. They've learned what the Stoics taught, that speech is silver, but silence is golden. That the wise man speaks when he has something to say, not because he has to say something. Here's where it gets interesting for your interactions with others. When you master comfortable silence, you'll notice something strange. People start seeking your approval. They over-explain their decisions to you without you asking. They tell you more than they should, trying to fill the space your silence creates. This isn't manipulation on your part. It's a natural response to encountering someone who doesn't need to fill every gap with noise. And in our modern world, that's become incredibly rare. So rare that it registers as power. Women especially are drawn to men who are comfortable with silence. Why? Because it signals that you're not anxious. You're not performing. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're simply present. And presence, true presence, is the ultimate aphrodisiac in an age where everyone is distracted, desperate for validation, or drowning in their own insecurity. Ask yourself honestly, can you sit with someone for 5 minutes without speaking and feel completely comfortable? Can you let a conversational pause extend without rushing to fill it? Can you listen, truly listen, without planning what you're going to say next? If you can, you've developed this third sign. If you can't, you've identified exactly what you need to practice. But the fourth sign might be the most tangible evidence of a powerful aura. Opportunities and people come to you. Think about how most men operate. They chase, they hustle, they network aggressively, they send cold messages, they attend every event. They're constantly pitching themselves, selling themselves, trying to convince others of their value. And there's nothing wrong with putting yourself out there. But there's a fundamental difference between a man who's chasing and a man who's attracting. The Stoics understood this distinction deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the fruit of virtue is the finest harvest. What he meant was this: when you focus on developing your character, on becoming truly excellent in your thinking and your actions, the external results take care of themselves. You don't chase success. Success finds you. This isn't mystical thinking, it's practical psychology. When you've built a powerful aura through Stoic practice, you emit a frequency that others pick up on. People want to be around you. They want to work with you. They want to learn from you. Not because you're loudly promoting yourself, but because your energy is magnetic. Here's what this looks like in practice. You're offered opportunities you didn't apply for. People recommend you for positions without you asking. Connections introduce you to influential people without you networking. Women express interest without you pursuing them. Friendships deepen without you forcing them. This is the gravitational pull of a powerful aura. You become the sun, and others naturally orbit around you. Now, this doesn't mean you're passive. The Stoics weren't passive men. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire. Seneca advised emperors. Epictetus taught wisdom. They acted with tremendous purpose and energy. But their action came from internal direction, not external desperation. There's a concept in physics called gravitational force. The more massive an object, the stronger its gravitational pull. In the realm of human psychology, the same principle applies. The more developed your character, the more you've built your inner citadel, the stronger your gravitational pull on opportunities and people. And here's the beautiful paradox. The less you need external validation, the more it comes to you. The less you chase status, the more status you accumulate. The less you seek relationships from a place of neediness, the more genuine connections you form. This is what the Stoics meant by focusing on what you can control. You can control your character development. You can control your daily practices. You can control your response to challenges. You cannot control whether others like you, hire you, or choose you. But when you stop trying to control those external outcomes and instead focus all your energy on building genuine excellence within yourself, those external outcomes start appearing as natural byproducts. Think of the difference between a man who's constantly on dating apps, desperately swiping, anxiously waiting for matches, versus a man who's focused on becoming the best version of himself. And through that focus, naturally attracts women into his life. Or the difference between a man sending hundreds of job applications versus a man who's built such a strong reputation that recruiters seek him out. This is the power of attractive energy versus chasing energy. And people can sense the difference immediately. When you're chasing, you reek of desperation, neediness, and low value. When you're attracting, you emit abundance, confidence, and high value. The man with a powerful Stoic aura doesn't chase because he doesn't need to. He's built something within himself that naturally draws what he needs toward him. So here's your gut check. Are opportunities finding you? Are people introducing themselves to you? Are you attracting rather than pursuing? If yes, you've developed this fourth sign. If no, it's time to shift your focus from chasing external outcomes to building internal excellence. Because the fifth and final sign might be the ultimate proof of a truly powerful aura. You recover from setbacks faster than others. Life breaks everyone. Marcus Aurelius, despite being emperor of Rome, faced betrayal, plague, war, the death of children, constant political intrigue, and the weight of ruling a vast empire. Seneca was exiled, falsely accused, and eventually forced to commit suicide. Epictetus was born a slave and suffered physical abuse. These men faced extraordinary hardship, and yet they didn't just survive. They thrived. They created philosophies that have guided millions of people for 2,000 years. How? Because they understood something most people never learn. It's not the obstacle that determines your fate. It's your response to the obstacle. When you've developed a powerful Stoic aura, setbacks don't break you. They barely slow you down. This isn't because you're made of stone or because you don't feel pain. You absolutely do. But you've trained yourself to metabolize adversity differently than most men. Here's what happens when disaster strikes for the typical man. He spirals, he catastrophizes, he plays the victim, he looks for someone to blame. He loses weeks or months to depression, anger, or paralysis. His identity is shaken because it was built on unstable foundations like career success, relationship status, or other people's opinions. But when disaster strikes the Stoic man, something remarkable happens. He feels the initial impact, the disappointment, the frustration, the pain. He's human. But then, almost immediately, his training kicks in. His mind goes to work reframing the situation. He asks himself, what can I control here? What can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? What would Marcus Aurelius do? This isn't positive thinking. It's not toxic optimism pretending everything is fine. It's radical acceptance of reality combined with a refusal to let external circumstances destroy internal peace. The Stoics had a practice called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. They would regularly imagine worst-case scenarios not to be pessimistic, but to prepare their minds. By mentally rehearsing loss, failure, betrayal, and disaster. They removed the element of shock when bad things actually happened. They'd already processed the emotional impact in advance. This is stress inoculation. Modern psychology has proven that exposure to controlled stress makes you more resilient to real stress. The Stoics knew this 2 millennia ago. They voluntarily undertook discomfort, cold baths, fasting, sleeping on hard floors. Not because they were masochists, but because they were training their nervous systems to remain calm during actual hardship. When you've done this work, your recovery time from setbacks becomes superhuman compared to the average person. You get fired. Most men take 6 months to recover emotionally. You take a week and start building something better. You go through a breakup. Most men fall apart for months. You grieve genuinely, then move forward with purpose. You face a business failure. Most men give up. You extract the lessons and try again with more wisdom. People notice this about you. They marvel at your resilience. They say things like, "I don't know how you do it," or "I would have completely fallen apart." But you're not doing anything mystical. You're simply applying Stoic principles that transform obstacles into fuel. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that every obstacle contains within it the opportunity for growth. The breakup teaches you self-sufficiency. The job loss forces you to discover your true calling. The betrayal reveals who your real friends are. The illness strengthens your appreciation for health. Nothing is wasted for the Stoic man. Every experience, pleasant or painful, becomes raw material for building character. And this alchemical ability to transmute lead into gold, to transform suffering into strength, this is perhaps the ultimate sign of a powerful aura. Because when others see you take punch after punch and keep standing, keep moving forward, keep maintaining your composure and your purpose, they recognize something rare. They're witnessing a man who cannot be broken by external circumstances because his foundation is internal. This is the inner citadel Marcus Aurelius wrote about. A fortress built in the mind that no external force can penetrate. And when you've built this fortress, your aura becomes unshakable. Not because nothing bad happens to you, but because when bad things happen, and they will, you've trained yourself to remain unshaken. So ask yourself honestly, when you face setbacks, how quickly do you recover? Do people comment on your resilience? Or do you find yourself knocked off balance for extended periods, waiting for external circumstances to improve before you can feel okay again? Your answer reveals whether you've developed this fifth sign. Now, here's what you need to understand. These 5 signs aren't genetic gifts. They're not personality traits you're born with. They're the result of consistent Stoic practice. Let me give you the path forward, because knowing these signs means nothing if you don't cultivate them. Start every morning with memento mori, remembering that you will die. This isn't morbid, it's liberating. When you truly internalize your mortality, petty concerns dissolve. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You stop seeking approval from people whose opinions are irrelevant. You focus on what actually counts. Build character, love fully, contribute meaningfully. Daily, practice the dichotomy of control. Look at your worries and sort them into 2 categories. Things I can control, my thoughts, my actions, my responses. And things I cannot control, other people's opinions, external outcomes, the past, the future. Then, radically, completely, let go of the second category. Direct all your energy toward the first. Embrace voluntary discomfort weekly. Take cold showers. Fast for 24 hours. Do hard physical training. Have difficult conversations. Sit in silence for 30 minutes. Each instance of voluntary discomfort is a deposit in your resilience account. You're training your nervous system to stay calm when things are uncomfortable. Journal every evening. The Stoics were big on reflection. Marcus Aurelius kept a personal journal that became meditations. Review your day. Where did you react poorly? Where did you embody Stoic principles? What can you improve tomorrow? This practice creates self-awareness, the foundation of all growth. Study the Stoic texts. Read Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. Not once, but repeatedly. These aren't books to consume. They're training manuals to internalize. Each reading reveals new layers of wisdom applicable to your current challenges. Practice selective speech. Before you speak, Ask yourself, is this true? Is this necessary? Is this kind? If it doesn't meet all three criteria, remain silent. Watch how the weight of your words increases as their volume decreases. But here's the warning you need to hear. Fake stoicism is everywhere right now. Social media is filled with men misunderstanding these principles, using stoicism as an excuse for emotional unavailability, coldness, or domination. That's not stoicism. That's toxicity wearing a philosophical mask. True stoicism makes you more human, not less. It makes you kinder, not colder. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about compassion. The Stoics understood that strength without kindness is just brutality. Your powerful aura should make others feel safe, not afraid. It should inspire, not intimidate. It should serve, not dominate. The goal isn't to become an emotionless robot. The goal is to become a man who feels deeply, but isn't controlled by his feelings. Who loves fiercely, but isn't destroyed by loss. Who pursues excellence, but isn't dependent on external validation. Who stands firm in his principles, but treats others with compassion. This is the path. It's not easy. It requires consistent practice, daily discipline, radical honesty with yourself, and patience as the internal work gradually manifests externally. But I promise you this: 90 days of genuine Stoic practice will transform your presence. 6 months will make you unrecognizable to your former self. A year will put you in a category most men never reach. You'll walk into rooms and feel the energy shift. You'll remain calm while chaos swirls around you. You'll become comfortable with silence. Opportunities will find you. Setbacks will bounce off you like raindrops off stone. Not because you're performing these qualities, but because you've built them into the foundation of who you are. Your aura will become powerful not through tricks or tactics, but through genuine character development. And in a world full of men desperately trying to appear strong, you'll actually be strong. In a world full of noise, you'll be substance. In a world of chaos, you'll be calm. So here's my challenge to you. Look at these 5 signs honestly. Which ones do you embody? Which ones do you lack? Don't lie to yourself. Self-deception is the opposite of Stoic practice. Then choose one Stoic discipline from the path I laid out and commit to it for 30 days. Just one. Master it. Let it become automatic. Then add another. Build your aura one practice at a time, one day at a time, one choice at a time. Because the truth is, you're building your aura right now, whether you're conscious of it or not. Every choice you make, every response you give, every moment of discipline or laziness, they're all contributing to the energetic signature you emit into the world. The only question is whether you're building it intentionally through Stoic practice, or letting it form by default through unconscious reactivity. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the ancient world, left us with this reminder. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That strength, that power over your own mind, that's what creates an aura so powerful that it changes every space you enter and every person you encounter. Now, if this video challenged you, if it made you look at yourself differently, hit that like button. Drop a comment telling me which of the 5 signs resonated most with you. And subscribe to this channel, because every week, I'm bringing you this level of depth on Stoic philosophy and masculine development. The kind of wisdom that separates boys from men and transforms your entire approach to life. Next video, I'm revealing the Stoic morning ritual that builds unshakable presence. The exact practices the ancient philosophers used that you can implement tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. Until then, remember this: Your aura is your responsibility. Build it with intention. Build it through Stoic practice. Build it until you become the kind of man whose very presence speaks louder than words ever could.